Jungkook BTS officially crowned the most popular K-pop idol in the world. The entertainment industry is shaken. Hello ARMY. Whispers from the heart of the world. There are moments in history that arrive quietly. No explosions. No headlines. Just a silent shift. A gentle ripple that turns into a wave, and then a tide that no one can ignore. Tonight is one of those moments. Because in the eyes of millions of fans, of artists, of dreamers, of doubters, the world has chosen not just a voice, not just a face, but a soul. Jeon Jungkook has officially been named the most popular K-pop idol in the world. And the story of how he got here is not just his. It belongs to every heart he's ever healed. The beginning, a boy from Busan. The beginning, a boy from Busan. Busan. A city filled with salt air and working hands. A port city where the sky meets the sea, and dreams often dissolve in the waves before they ever reach the shore. But one boy held on to his. Not loudly. Not defiantly. But quietly, the way only a true believer does. He wasn't born famous. He wasn't born with the certainty of success. He was simply born with a longing. A longing to sing. To move. To feel something real. That boy was Jeon Jungkook. And while the world didn't see him yet, the stars already knew his name. Busan. A city filled with salt air and working hands. A port city where the sky meets the sea, and dreams often dissolve in the waves before they ever reach the shore. But one boy held on to his. Not loudly. Not defiantly. But quietly, the way only a true believer does. He wasn't born famous. He wasn't born with the certainty of success. He was simply born with a longing. A longing to sing. To move. To feel something real. That boy was Jeon Jungkook. And while the world didn't see him yet, the stars already knew his name. Choosing the hard path, at age 13. At 13, most children are just beginning to discover themselves. Jungkook? He was already preparing to leave everything behind. He packed his dreams into a bag and left Busan. Left the comfort of home. Left the warm meals and the familiar laughter. He walked into the unknown. Into a cutthroat industry. Into endless hours of training, bruised feet, and hoarse vocal cords. He was the youngest. The smallest. The quietest. But there was a fire in him. Not a fire that roared, but one that refused to die. Even when the days were cruel. Even when the nights felt endless. He stayed. Because deep down, he believed he was meant to be heard. At 13, most children are just beginning to discover themselves. Jungkook? He was already preparing to leave everything behind. He packed his dreams into a bag and left Busan. Left the comfort of home. Left the warm meals and the familiar laughter. He walked into the unknown. Into a cutthroat industry. Into endless hours of training, bruised feet, and hoarse vocal cords. He was the youngest. The smallest. The quietest. But there was a fire in him. Not a fire that roared, but one that refused to die. Even when the days were cruel. Even when the nights felt endless. He stayed. Because deep down, he believed he was meant to be heard. Debut, a whisper turning into a roar. BTS debuted. In an industry dominated by giants, they were dismissed. Underdogs. Unpolished. Unwelcome. But Jungkook stood on that stage with a gaze that pierced through doubt. He wasn't just performing. He was surviving. He sang like his life depended on it. He danced like he was breaking chains with every step. And slowly, the world turned its ear. Fans began to notice. There was something about him. A quiet intensity. A storm behind soft eyes. He wasn't just an idol. He was a feeling. Fame's shadow, the cost of being loved by millions. Fame is not a gift. It is a mirror, one that shows you everything you love, and everything you fear. As BTS rose to global superstardom, Jungkook became a symbol. The golden Maknae. The youngest with endless talents. But behind closed doors, the pressure grew louder. The lights got brighter. And the silence at night became heavier. He once said, "I'm not always confident. There are days I look at myself and wonder if I'm enough." Behind every award, there was exhaustion. Behind every performance, there was pain. But Jungkook didn't run. He wrote. He trained. He opened his heart to the world. Because even when he felt lost, he had one constant. ARMY. The global phenomenon, Jungkook across continents. From Tokyo to Toronto, Rio to Riyadh. One name echoed louder than any other. Jungkook. He didn't speak every language. But people understood him. Through his eyes. His voice. His presence. He became a cultural bridge. An emotional sanctuary. A global icon with a humble heart. TikTok trends. Billboard charts. Google searches. Stadium chants. He wasn't just a trend. He was a movement. A movement built on sincerity. On growth. On a raw, aching humanity that made even strangers feel like they knew him. Unmatched numbers, the data of a legend. Data never lies. Jungkook has been the most searched K-pop idol on Google for 4 consecutive years. His solo song 7 debuted at #1 on Billboard's Hot 100. Over 200 billion views under the hashtag #Jungkook on TikTok. Sold out solo merch in under a minute. Vogue, Calvin Klein, Dior, all lining up, not just for his looks, but his aura. And still, he bows. He thanks. He blushes. "I'm still learning," he says. "I just want to do better next time." Data never lies. Jungkook has been the most searched K-pop idol on Google for 4 consecutive years. His solo song 7 debuted at #1 on Billboard's Hot 100. Over 200 billion views under the hashtag #Jungkook on TikTok. Sold out solo merch in under a minute. Vogue, Calvin Klein, Dior, all lining up, not just for his looks, but his aura. And still, he bows. He thanks. He blushes. "I'm still learning," he says. "I just want to do better next time." The official crown, most popular K-pop idol in the world. The official crown, most popular K-pop idol in the world. And now, the world has spoken. In a historic global poll with over 50 million votes across 180 countries, Jungkook was declared the most popular K-pop idol on Earth. Not by luck. Not by fan campaigns alone. But because his impact is real. CNN called him the heartbeat of a generation. Time wrote, "The world doesn't just see him, they feel him." Billboard crowned him the voice of global youth. It is not just a title. It's a recognition of a soul that gave without limits. The world responds, ARMY celebration. When the announcement was made, the world erupted. Fireworks in Brazil. Mural paintings in Indonesia. ARMY dancing in the streets of Seoul. LED billboards in Times Square. Charity drives in Africa in his name. Fans singing "Still With You" together in Paris, under the Eiffel Tower. And in a small village in the Philippines, a young girl whispered, "He makes me feel like I belong. Like I'm worth something." That is the power of Jungkook. Not just to entertain, but to heal. His words, "The moment the world stood still." His words, "The moment the world stood still." At the global award ceremony, Jungkook walked to the stage. No entourage. No extravagance. Just him. His heart. His voice. He took the mic and paused. The crowd fell silent. Then he said, "I don't know if I deserve all this love. But because of you, I believe I can grow. This title, this moment, it belongs to all of us. Not just me. As long as you believe in me, I will never stop singing. A star who chose to be hum and a star who chose to be human. There are many stars in the world, but only a few choose to remain human. Jeon Jungkook is one of them. He is not perfect, but he is real, vulnerable, brave, curious, kind. And that is why the world loves him. Because in him, we see ourselves, our fears, our hopes, our longing to be enough. He is more than just the most popular idol. He is the voice of this generation's heart. A boy who became a legend not through force, but through love.